Well, hello and welcome back. I have a little bit of a fun announcement today. I'm gonna try something new with you. And I'm not saying that it's gonna work. Sometimes my ideas don't work, but I think it's going to work. I would like to start a new series with you. Let's call it Designer Dupes. We're gonna find beautiful high-end decorations that are a pretty penny, and then we're gonna remake them for next to nothing. Let's see if we can do it. We're gonna try to do 3 at a time. And I think we could do this once a month. I already have so many ideas and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. So the first thing we're going to look at is this beautiful gold wire basket. It's from Cherish. It is $795. I think we should recreate it with this $4 basket that I got at the thrift store. Starting off with gold paint, let's go get this done. I'm using my favorite gold spray paint by Rust-Oleum in the color Champagne Bronze. You need one of these on hand at all times. It's an essential piece in your DIY kit. So here's our gold basket. Now I'm going to add moss. Now you can get really nice bags of moss from Hobby Lobby. This is from the woods next to my house. So I just got a brown bag of this and I'm going to line the entire basket in moss. I love working with moss, especially in the spring. I just feel like it's such a perfect texture and it just feels storybook, and use moss a lot in your decorating in the spring. So I'm gonna line this entire basket, and then what would be nice, okay, so this is the perfect size for one of those floral foam bricks. I mean, you can get them at the Dollar Tree even. Some of those floral foams are meant to absorb water like a sponge, and then some of them are for faux flowers, so they're just basically styrofoam. They don't absorb water. I'm going to use faux flowers, so I could use one of those that doesn't hold water. Anyway, I can't find my stash of those, so I'm just gonna overpack my basket with this moss and then put my flowers straight into the moss, so that's an option too. I mean, we're cutting corners a little bit, but I don't think it matters. And lastly, we're going to add in Lily of the Valley. I saw this done in a house in England a few years ago and I was obsessed. I love Lily of the Valley flowers just in general, but I've never seen anyone pop them in a house, and I just think that is so beautiful. Now, they are poisonous apparently. I usually get that response when I am talking about them on YouTube, so I have to be kind of careful with my animals. But these are faux, and I just love the idea of having them, you know, sitting in the living room in a pot or something. Next on the list is this beautiful oil painting, also from Cherish, $2,800. Now, granted, I'm going to make a smaller version, not a whole lot smaller, but I'm always drawn to artwork that shows cows in streams because I was raised on a cattle ranch and we had lots of water holes and creeks, and that is just really, really sentimental for me. You always want to pick art that speaks to you, that probably brings tears to your eyes. That's a good piece of art. So I found this similar art print. It has the cows in the water. This was on Etsy. I went and got it printed on thick cardstock at Office Max. We could go to Kinko's. And I'm going to just give it some texture with Mod Podge. This is a little hack you can do to kind of dress up a print that you want it to look a little more like an oil painting. It's not going to be nearly as nice, but you just need a small brush about this size. I'm going to draw little X's back and forth, all over this print until it's completely covered. It doesn't take very long. Now, it kind of looks bad at this point, but have faith. It's going to dry and it's going to look fine. Okay, here's the finished look for our cow painting. And I'm gonna get this into a beautiful antique frame and put it on my gallery wall in my fire state room. Well, I love a good decor hack and I love a good beauty hack. A few years ago, I decided I'm not gonna do Botox, I am not gonna do lip filler. And I went on this deep dive to find products and companies that can help me age naturally and gracefully. And that's when I found City Beauty. Now they have a whole line of products that are amazing. I'm gonna specifically highlight their lip plumping lip gloss. It's called City Lips. Now, if you were to get lip filler, they are injecting your lips with hyaluronic acid. This has hyaluronic acid in it. But then over time, and for me it was several months, your lips are absorbing this hyaluronic acid and going back to this look that you had in your younger days. Their lip gloss is free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, and mineral oil. You do not need to spend a ton of money. You do not need to do harsh things to your body. What you do need to do is get several of these tubes though. I've got one by my toothbrush, I've got one in my car, I've got one in my purse, I've got one in my desk. You can try City Beauty today. Use my code SheHoldsDearly to get 20% off anything on the website. I will put the link in the description below, and you can get started on a more natural way to age. Now for the third and final dupe. I know at the beginning of this I said designer dupes, but the more I'm thinking about it, I think we should call them decor dupes, because designer could mean clothing or something, and we're specifically decor that we're working on. But for our third dupe, we are going to make this boring little chandelier lampshade into this darling one that I saw at Nordstrom for $64. It's me, big Mrs. Alice, and I totally think we can make this. This one is free. For me, it's free because I already had these two lampshades that have just been sitting on my living room wall sconce, looking way too bland. And then I had this beautiful velvet ribbon. It's very fresh. I love the color, very kind of fresh grass look. If you want the best deal and the best quality on velvet ribbon, I suggest going to mayarts.com and getting your velvet ribbon from there. Fantastic prices, fantastic quality. And if you have a business, a creative business that would justify buying the ribbon, their wholesale pricing is even better. Okay, when I first tried to make this, I thought, well, I'll just take one long piece of ribbon and wrap it around and around and around inside the shade. But I was ending up using about 8 yards of nice velvet ribbon on a little shade like this, and I just felt like it was wasteful, so I undid it all, and I'm gonna do this again with you, and we're gonna cut actual individual strips for this pleated section. I think we're gonna use maybe 4 yards this way, which is just smarter, I feel like. Now, I get a lot of questions when I make lampshades about hot glue and how it holds up with the light bulb turned on. Now on my big lamps, I use LED lights, and so that of course is not gonna melt hot glue. But on my chandelier lights, I still have incandescent bulbs, and I've not had a problem. I'm always making lampshades and adding little different styles of pleats and things, and I've not had any problems with the hot glue melting, so don't worry about that. So I've got my first strip here, and I just put a dot there inside, a dot of hot glue, just got that first end in place. Now, the thing with making pleated lampshades, I know this isn't true pleated, but it's going to look pleated when we're done, is that you have to continually make sure that all of your lines are straight up and down, or they start slanting. So that's your number one job when you're making this. Okay, that's our first one. I just covered the seam on the back, and now we're going to cut a bunch more strips. This would be such a good project for a women's group, a Bible study, or a little shower or something, because it's simple enough but tedious enough to keep people busy for a little bit, and I feel like you can't really fail at it, which is always a good idea. So my ribbon strips are about 7 inches long. You just really want to make sure that you've got enough to glue on the top and bottom. I mean, I've got plenty there. This ribbon is 3/4 inch wide, and I've figured out that I need 60 strips of ribbon. Okay, I'm partially done here. I want to point out a few things about these lampshades. So one thing I noticed when I put this on my light and I turn the light on, I can see through the shade just a little bit. And so I'm advising you to be careful on this section right here. And then, you know, at the top, the glue line, try to keep it straight. Try to keep your pieces of ribbon the same length so that it doesn't look all like jagged when you turn the light on in there. And then just cannot emphasize enough to keeping your lines straight as you go. And what that's gonna mean is you're pretty much going to have to overlap the top, like almost half. I'm trying to do it halfway over the previous ribbon, and then by the time I pull it down to the bottom, I'm as wide as I can go without showing white. You're gonna constantly be picking glue strings off of this. Well, here she is, we got one done. This took 28 strips of ribbon, so the cutting 60 in the beginning was accurate. Now I just need to add the bow. Now, the tricky thing about the bow is that when you put your ribbon around, and I am gonna do this in 2 pieces of ribbon. So when you put it around, it's gonna have a wider gap at the top because of the shape. So I'm going to put it on, then I'm just gonna tie a simple bow and put it over the seam, and we will be done. So I decided to not glue this piece down. I'm just gonna leave it standing straight up in the air like that, and I think it'll look good when it's on the light. The very last thing I'm going to do is put a piece of ribbon in here, because when this is up on my light, I can see that and it looks so bad. So we're just gonna finish it off with a final piece of ribbon to clean this up, okay? It was so much fun to create these things with you, and I'm interested to know what you would like to see for more of these in the future. And before I forget, we've got a workshop coming up this weekend. That's Saturday, May 2nd. I'm going to be showing you my custom design binder that I am going to send to you in the mail, and then break it all down in our live class. It's a 90-minute class. At 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, there will be a recording, and it's just to get all of those ideas that are swirling around in your head, getting them all put in one spot and organized and put into a system that helps you actually finish your home projects. All right, take care, and I will talk to you soon.